The car's having it. Oh! Huge hit to the wall. Who was that? Jeff Gordummy?
Oh, there they
Big
go.
data and big crash.
Oh, down under.
It's upside down.
Wow, tumble.
Upside down under.
Oh, wow. Here they
Piling
come.
in is the rest of the field.
Mason Dixon's over.
Oh, my. I've been involved in every single pileup that has happened today. Them cheating Toyotas.
Oh, into Scubs again.
Scubs.
Over goes
Scubs
Scubs.
Tipped over.
We didn't see that the first time. Scubs flipped a couple times. Oh, man. You hate to see that for all the Scubs.
Oh,
Lost that
man.
camera.
Oh, my goodness. Who was that?
Oh, Harold.
Is it Harold?
No, Harold got the last piece there.
Oh, it's Gustafer Bell.
Oh, that's
Oh.
a hard lick.
And Mason
Oh,
Dixon
kick-
went over too, yeah.
Yeah, kicked Mason over.
Who's that upside down behind them? On that 84. And there's a completely separate wreck behind
Yeah.
those guys too. Elliot Sadness, Mason Dixon, several people flying to the inside. Mason Dixon up on his side. Oh, Dingo Dave.
Up ahead. There was one of the Jeff Gordon looking cars just shot to the hill on the left side there. I don't know if you saw that. He was just out of frame.
And then gets shoved straight into the hay bales. Luckily, that absorbed some of the hit.
Dadgum, boy, I don't know what he was doing. Probably praying and driving. Eyes closed, head bowed, of course. I thought he had massive Chris for sure, but Dr. Basil, he told me, because of his profession, he diagnosed him with massive Christ. It's like massive Chris, but for holy people. But nonetheless, it was a hell of a lick, and he can't risk another big hit like that tonight, so he's going to have to try to start the race, but he's going to have to get out of the first pit stop, and getting in this car, man, this guy would not stop texting me all season long. It's Mason Dixon. He's back. He's going to have one start in this car before he gets in the Plot 55 car later on in the season. In fact, him and Dadgum were talking before the race, and he just kept poking Dadgum in the chest. I just really think he wants to get in that car no matter what. He wants to be sure Dad's not feeling good enough and has to get out.
Welcome back to the Chicagoland Speedway, where, we have probably the most impressive feat of human history here, as Dadgum got out of the car and Mason Dixon hopped in while it was still rolling on the racetrack, so that car gets to stay up front and lead the field back to the green.
You ever see how conductors get back on a moving freight train? It's kind of like that. It takes a lot of practice, but you know what? They practiced all week long. Mason did not want to have to lose any spots. He only has one more start in the Plot 55, so he want to make the most of this first start.
What brought out the caution in the first place, and it's what we were talking about, trying to throw a block on guys that are ripping top. Victory lane just comes right up the track in front of Dadgum. They spin down. Reese Ware gets a piece of it.
Reese, you had
into
the
the
whole
74. Wow. That is impressive right there, that nobody absolutely pile drove the 12.
But what was Reese Ware thinking? He has everything down there is paved.
Also, as a part of this package, we are debuting.
Christ.
Mike, what's the update on injuries?
Well, even a mile and a half kept the infield care center pretty busy last week. Our first problem actually came from a driver swap. Dadgum had to get out of the car because it was a case of massive Christ, and Mason Dixon hopped in it while it was still moving, and turns out he drugged Dadgum out of the car and just threw him on the pavement while the car was rolling. Not very nice. That just goes to show you how much Mason Dixon wants to drive a race car. And for Raymond, he would not stop calling. He would not stop texting. He would not stop emailing. Mason Dixon, he's going to be getting into the 03. At this point, this dude's going to be running half the season. And then Mateus.
Fun little driver swaps out there. We all love that, don't we?
Yeah, glad
Sure
to see
do.
those guys, both Raymond Hans and Willie Studs, make it to the first caution clean. It took a lot longer than it ever has in tow car history. So they had to be shitting them britches. He's coming to the inside.
Come on!
Is he going to get him to the line? Curtin Kyle Busch gonna get it done. At Symmetrical Texas as the field wads up behind him, wrecking after the flag. 03,
Mason Dixon.
Dixon upside down right in front of Jason Payson.
Back here. Hoping to finish this race in one piece because he's scheduled to drive the 55 next week. But man, Daddy gets into him, throws him into that safer berry. And then here he comes back out in front of the 27 and he just starts tumbling.
Up and over.
Can't be good for the belly.
No. Especially
isn't.
given that they basically inject Red Bull into your veins every time you get into this 03 car. Of course.
In the lead. Not as much drag on that thing, I heard.
Somebody without an illegal setup, Mason Dixon doing a great job here. In the middle of the hornet's nest, but he's keeping it alive. 4 laps into the race. Can't ask for too much here in tow car.
I wouldn't want to be in the middle though, Mike. That's the most dangerous.
Of You Can't Hear Me. And then to his outside. That is Big Luke Lips in the 19 truck. Starting 27th is the 23 of Deddy McBetty. And starting 28th, welcome back Mason Dixon to the Tow Car Garbage Truck Series. Although I don't think he's ever raced a truck before. But regardless, welcome back Mason Dixon.